Welcome to the Filmfest Bremen in cooperation with Indie Film Talk. My name is Christoph Dobic and today we are talking about the movie TOPRAK by Sefki Hirschhäuser, and for that occasion writer and director Sefki Hirschhäuser and producer and cinematographer Chris Hirschhäuser are with me today. Nice to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us here today.
This is your first feature film, Sefki, and it's a pretty big project. It's a dramatic movie that you filmed in Turkey. It's a family story in very, very special places with a small ensemble and a small budget. Can you tell us how this movie came to be, how you got the idea for the script, for example?
Firstly, I always wanted to make a movies, and I was not sure how to make a movie. And I was always working in the behind of the set, editing or helping the set, making sound and different departments, and it was always inside of me like I want to make my own movies. That's why I started to write a story. It was a little bit difficult for me to write a story also, what kind of topic I can work on it and which direction I can go with a small budget, because nobody will give money to me at the beginning. So that's why I just got through with my feelings, and I was started to concentrate of my family, my culture, my small world. What can I do with my own subjects around of me? Then it's just pop up inside of me, kind of half of my family living in the village town and half of my family living in the city side. And I started to live in Germany. It was so many cultural stuff happening in my family and in my world. That's why I thought maybe it would be interesting to concentrate of the cultural topics, some social issues, differences. Like it was so many differences in my life, and then I started to write TOPRAK.
And of course, the story, as you describe it, it has to be filmed in Turkey, but it's not an easy thing to do. Like, you were living in Germany at this time, you wanted to film in Turkey, and not even in a big city, but in a very small town. Did you ever think about, well, it would just be easy to do it in Germany? Can I, with my low budget, can I film it in Germany and save some money? Or was the filming in Turkey always the first priority?
Actually, I think it would be possible to shoot something in Germany too, because we have so many contacts and so many friends who can help us in the low budget projects also. But as a topic, when I wanted to go social issues, it was more realistic for me shooting something in Turkey. It was more myself, from me more stuff can come out. That's why it was a good idea to try to shoot in Turkey. And we got more help in Turkey because all my family and friends there, and we have so many people who can work free with us.
And you chose a very special location to film, like not one of the big cities, but a town that has a history for you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, this is the location where my grandparents are living. My grandmother, grandfather, my cousin live in this village town, who's acting in the movie, the main character, Burak, who's my own cousin also. He lives in this village town too. So half of the story kind of like a real, true stories. But for the location where we shoot, he wanted to have that location for sure, so hard, right?
Go for it, yeah.
Ja, die Locations sind natürlich dadurch entstanden, dass wir einfach vor Ort waren und geschaut haben, wo wir drehen können. Und die Hauptlocation von dem Haus von den beiden, die ist mir sofort aufgefallen, aber wir haben uns nicht getraut zu fragen, weil der Besitzer irgendwie im Ruf stand, dass er ein bisschen aggressiv ist und so. Deswegen haben wir jetzt mal rumgeguckt und immer gesagt, wir müssen da gucken, wir müssen ihn fragen. Und er war der netteste Mensch und wir sind immer noch in Kontakt mit ihm und freuen uns, wenn wir vorbeikommen und ein bisschen was vorbeibringen. Ja, es ist ein sehr ärmliches Dorf gewesen. Aber es ist eine alte griechische Siedlung auch noch im Hintergrund. Man sieht es mal ein bisschen. Deswegen haben wir auch ein, zwei Mal Ärger mit der Polizei gehabt, weil dahinter ist noch so ein Plateau gewesen. Und das ist eine alte griechische Siedlung von vor 3000, 2000 Jahren. Und deswegen ist es schon ein besonderer Platz auch, obwohl es heute einfach eher nur ein bisschen ärmlich wirkt irgendwie.
Ja, wir reden gleich auch nochmal über behalt das Mikrofon gern kurz, wir reden gleich auch nochmal über deine Produzententätigkeiten, aber bleiben wir doch erstmal so ein bisschen bei der Bildgestaltung. Natürlich als Kameramann hat man eine Idee, dass man einen riesigen Lichttruck haben kann und Kräne und Dollys und Drohnen und so weiter und so fort. Aber sobald man dann doch im Ausland dreht und gerade in der ländlichen Gegend, ist man ja doch sehr eingeschränkt, was quasi die technischen Möglichkeiten angeht. Wie bist du da ans Bilddesign rangegangen und wie hast du quasi versucht, diese Welt mit der Kamera einzufangen?
Zum einen ist es für mich immer schöner, in einem Ort zu filmen, den ich nicht kenne und der auch noch so diese Texturen hat wie diesem Ort, weil einfach alles ist ein bisschen verlassener, ein bisschen vergammelter und es ist viel spannender, als in einer Villa in Deutschland zu drehen, wo es alles weiß ist und High-End. Das war schon mal gut und es war auch alles ein bisschen staubiger, das hat schon viel Spaß gemacht und die Ideen kamen von selbst dann eigentlich, weil wir haben auch kein Setdesign gehabt. Ich habe ein paar Lampen gekauft, die wir so reingehängt haben, zu einer Grundbeleuchtung, hatte dann ein paar LED-Lampen aus Deutschland dabei, Akkus, 2 Kameras. Und da habe ich meistens mit 2 Kameras gleichzeitig gearbeitet. Hatte noch einen Freund aus Rastede dabei, aus Oldenburg hier. Der hat mir geholfen. Und dann haben wir es ein sehr, sehr kleines Team gemacht. Und ja, ich bin eher gewöhnt, dass ich klein arbeite. Und ich freue mich immer, wenn man es machen kann, wenn man sich mehr Zeit auf die Darsteller und auf die Location konzentrieren kann. Und dass man weniger mit Leuten zu tun hat, die man dirigieren muss, sondern eher sich darauf auf ein kleines Team konzentrieren muss. Das wäre schöner.
Noch eine spezielle Frage zur Bildgestaltung. Eine Rolle im Film spielen Granatäpfel. Also da ist eine Farm, in der Granatäpfel aufgebaut werden. Und die werden verschiedenen Szenen gesetzt. Du hast den Hain bei der Ernte, du hast mal die frischen, mal die vergammelten, du hast den Marktstand, wo die das verkaufen. Wie hast du diese Frucht, die ja auch sehr symbolisch ist, in Szene gesetzt und hast du dir Gedanken gemacht, ich versuche es eher so manchmal wie ein Werbespot aussehen zu lassen, manchmal muss es so dreckig und staubig sein, um real zu sein. Was war deine Beziehung zu Granatäpfeln?
Zum einen liebe ich sie, das ist eine tolle Frucht.
Eine gute Voraussetzung.
Ich meine, das ist schon was Besonderes, wenn man in der Türkei einfach aus dem Auto heraus eine greifen kann und die dann auch essen kann. Und auch in allen verschiedenen Stadien sehen kann. Das ist tatsächlich das, was wir auch im Film haben, dass sie mehr vergammelt sind, ist auch in Wirklichkeit so. Ja. Die wir in Deutschland haben und auf den Tisch kriegen, sind natürlich dann die guten Früchte. Es war jetzt nicht so, dass ich dann mir lange darüber Gedanken gemacht habe, wie ich sie in Szene setze. Es war dann tatsächlich immer zufällig oder wie es gerade gekommen ist, weil der Obststand, den wir da haben, der wurde von ihrem Onkel gebaut. Das war das Einzige, wo wir das Setdesign hatten. Und da war natürlich die Hauptsache mit den Früchten, also entweder vom Baum genommen oder auf dem Stand. Und den haben wir in verschiedensten Perspektiven gezeigt. Und je nach Sonnenstand ging es dann einfach. Es war wirklich dann sehr zufällig manchmal.
Super. Dann noch eine Frage für dich als Produzenten. Ja. Ihr habt eben schon gesagt, es war ein kleines Budget. Es ist schwierig, den ersten Film finanziert zu bekommen, insbesondere wenn man irgendwie keine guten Kontakte bzw. keine guten Referenzen hat, wo man sagen kann, ja, okay, wir haben schon so und so viele Sachen gemacht, sondern es soll ein erstes Projekt werden. Wie habt ihr es am Ende doch geschafft, genug Geld zusammenzubekommen, um diesen Film zu realisieren?
Zum einen haben wir zusammen das produziert natürlich. Wir haben zusammen auch vorher gearbeitet in Deutschland, haben ein bisschen Geld verdient. Und das Geld in Deutschland ist in der Türkei natürlich ein bisschen mehr wert durch Inflation etc. Und dadurch konnten wir schon Sachen erreichen, die man in Deutschland einfach Vielfaches hätte bezahlen müssen. Und es war natürlich auch ein sehr kleines Team. Wir waren irgendwie 7, 8 Leute am Set maximal. Die Schauspieler haben wir zwar bezahlt, aber nicht nach deutschen Standards. Und wir haben schon ein bisschen Geld gelassen natürlich, aber ja, es war schon okay, muss ich sagen. Und es hat sich gelohnt für uns, weil wir haben auf viele Festivals, es ist einfach überall gewesen und das ist natürlich auch eine schöne Referenz für Sie, auch für den nächsten Film. Und natürlich ist der große Vorteil, wenn man sowas selber produziert, dass keiner reinredet. Das ist so, ich glaube, das ist Hauptsache, dass man niemandem Rechenschaft schuldig ist, dass man alles selber bestimmen kann und auch muss. Und das ist der große Vorteil dabei, dass man keine Förderung hier und da suchen muss und den Film nach 3, 4 Jahren dann machen kann, sondern wir haben das Geld zusammen gehabt, das Drehbuch war da, wir sind hingeflogen und haben gedreht und das war wirklich toll.
Sehr schön. Ja. That's the spirit. Okay, let's go back to you. You make some very interesting visual decisions because at some points in the movie dramatic things happen, like a person dies, another person gets a liver transplant or a liver operation. And at these points, you sometimes decide not to show the actual act, but to cut away or to stay outside. I specifically remember the scene where a mother in the film dies and we are always outside the house. We just see people from very far away running in and out and reacting. How did you decide at these very dramatic scenes what you want to show and what you want to leave out or leave to our imagination sometimes?
I am also a very dramatic person. When I'm writing the scenes, it's a big effort for me, kind of. It's a feeling for me when I'm writing a dramatic scenes. Am I going too much, or is it too much inside of me, or is it also too much for another people too? I think it's dramatic when you show the drama so much. That's why we were also shooting like this, so we didn't cut the scenes out. I was thinking this scene should be like this. Shouldn't has to be showed who's dying completely. I just wanted to show the uncle character that he's dying because that was the only person in the Burak character side. That was the only person who he can hold. So that's why I just wanted to show this character, but other dramatic scenes in our real life also it's happening too. Sometimes dramatic things are just happening and we have to pass away, and I wanted to just make my character also in this situation.
Okay. And we already talked that Burak is your real life cousin, right, the actor? And I would like to talk a little bit about the actor of the uncle, because he's a very intense presence, like even his look alone, but then of course he has to act so many difficult scenes. Like he is one of the person who gets emotionally and physically tortured throughout this movie. How did you find this actor and how did you work with him?
As an uncle character is a Numan Çakır. He's a known actor in Istanbul and in Turkey. I sent him the script and I told him what's going on with us. I just want to make this movie and I don't have a big budget. What is your expectations? Do you want to be in our team? He just liked the story very much. He just came without big expectations. For me, second thing was convincing him was the first thing, but the second thing was convincing him also acting with my own cousin who doesn't have experience and who didn't act in the movie before. He was okay with it. He was so super okay. I think he also found power inside of himself that he can handle this movie. He was also, in the dramatic scenes, he was also very emotional. He was really living the character, and I was so happy to work with him. It was so easy for me to tell him what I want to have it, and he was just concentrating. He was emotionally or with his soul, he was 100% there. That's why I didn't get any problem when I'm getting my performance or my scene from him. I feel very lucky that he just came and worked with us. He was drinking Turkish tea with the villagers in the village town. He was just talking to them. After the movie, after we shot the movie, he was several times visiting village town and he was sleeping in the villagers' home. I mean, something emotionally happened to everybody.
Beautiful. And you already said you were worried that he maybe didn't want to do the movie, that he would be hard to work with, or he didn't want to work with your cousin. And of course, when you make a movie the first time, I bet there are tons of things you're worrying about. Like, will the equipment be on task? Will everything turn out the way we want? Do we maybe shoot the movie and then I hate it in editing? So what was your greatest fear, or maybe your greatest fears, before embarking on this project, and how did it turn out?
I have to say, my fear was, I wrote the script and I wrote with the emotion, and how come I will get this emotion in the real performance? That was for me very difficult. I mean, on the script writing some things, but coming alive. So this point was my most scary point, but it came out perfectly. I was so happy with my all scenes. Burak was there also, and the first time he was acting, and he was also ready. I mean, he wants to be an actor, and I think he was thinking that's the good chance for him. That's why he was concentrated. Often, he was not only learning on his own text, he was learning all characters' text, and he was always repeating. And I was telling him, you don't have to learn another character's dialogues. You just have to concentrate on yours. He said, it's good when I can do it. I want to do it. It was a beautiful moment. Yeah.
Very nice. And you said before that your main occupation was editing. How was it for you to go with the eyes of an editor into a movie project and to edit your own material that you wrote and directed and shot, and then having it on the editing table? Was it a big difference from your normal workflow?
I was editing a lot, different projects, interview, music video clip, and other movies, and I was finally editing my own film. Yeah. Editing actually helped me a lot. When I'm writing a script also, it was scene and scene, like how I am cutting. I was already knowing what I'm shooting and what I'm doing. I was not knowing editing is that strong, actually. Editing can teach how to make a movie also. That was very important learning process for me. I didn't want to give the movie someone else. We also didn't have budget to give somebody else, but of course editing the movie took very short time, some months, but ending the movie, complete music, color grading and everything, it took 1 year. Music was very difficult for me, but other process was not so difficult, right?
So it is always a little risky, I guess, to work with somebody who you have something to do with in real life as well, out of work. So when the shooting is finished, you go home together, you still have to talk to each other, and it can be amazingly stressful, especially when things go wrong and weird. And in this case, you even had a super emotional project here on your hands. How was it to be there for almost 3 weeks and to have like this work days and then the private nights at this project together? Was there ever a big divide between you, or did you have to, did you have to maybe like push her at some point because she lost the mood? So how was your emotional involvement behind the scenes?
Well, of course, we have a strong emotional involvement in this. Yeah. It's our money, it's our time, it's all the family there, and we had some stressful moments, I guess. It's for me, what happens on set stays on set.
It's very good thing. Yeah.
It's of course always difficult to when we are both the producer, and it's I know this feeling when director and producer are the same person or something like this, because there's one person missing who has control, who has kind of a third opinion, and this is missing when we are doing this ourselves, and so it was tense sometimes. I mean, I can say that I didn't have I know the story, but I didn't have the script. She didn't have the time to translate it. So it's all the scenes I was flying a little blind through this. So I was trying to say, okay, what's going on? But I didn't know. When I first saw the movie with subtitles, then I was understanding the whole story. And then I really fully appreciate what she did, what kind of great script she made, what kind of great scenes are inside, because I didn't know the dialogue. And this was sometimes a little bit awkward for me to do. It's not stressful, but awkward. And of course, working with the Turkish people, and she had to translate. It was a stressful job for her too, to translate between me and the Turkish people, and that I had to tell the guys, go there a little bit, and they didn't understand because they don't speak English. And so it was... it was completely an adventure. I mean, we had some troubles on set. I mean, it's very funny back now when we had this actress on the horse, she had to ride, and they started to roll the drum, and we waited, and then we heard from 200 meters the horse went mad and took her off, and then she had to, because she was doing as a stunt girl too, she was working as a stunt girl before in Turkey, and then she had to be on the horse, and I had to do the stuff. So onto the horse in the scenes, it's her on the back of the horse.
Ah, okay.
Or when we had one time the gendarmerie, the military police on set, who somebody told them that we were digging for gold there. Yeah, it was quite bizarre. But this sounds bizarre, but they found gold because of this ancient Greek town. Yeah. Sometimes they're finding gold in the ground by accident, and the government is a little bit upset when they don't pay taxes for that. And so they are very strict about digging for gold there on purpose. But we had a permission, so we could say, hey guys, it's all fine. And it took half a day to convince them, but yeah, it was very fun. It was adventurous.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of behind the scenes stories from very, very different movies in my life. It's the first time I hear that a shooting was stopped because somebody thought you were digging for gold.
Sounds great.
So that's new, yeah.
And we had a nice tea time on the police station.
Oh, okay.
But this one guy with the gun who was threatening our location guy there was, it's in Turkish, it's very emotional, very, very honor and so on. It's a little bit different from other countries, so it makes a little bit things different.
And especially in Turkey, it's making independent movies. It's not so usual. Somebody just making a movie like this. We just got used to it. Big team, big TV. Only big movie producers can make a movie. That's why when I'm saying I'm making a movie, nobody doesn't understand anything. They don't believe and so on. When I'm trying to get the film permission, also they were asking to me, "You will make a movie." They were not believing, and it was not so usual. It's not usual like here people making a movie. It was. I just learned it when I wanted to make a movie. It's really special making a movie in another country.
I see. Yeah. Let me ask you one last thing about the screenplay. You already said you didn't know the dialogues, but you knew, of course, the story, and you know it was a personal story. And at its core, it is a very classical story. It's about coming of age. It's about two worlds that are colliding. It's the city between the farm. It's a tradition versus progression. Do I stay here with my family, or do I break into new life? So it's a story that we can all understand and relate to, no matter in which country it takes place, I believe. Was the ending always the way you intended? Because when I saw the movie the first time, I thought, oh, it's a little bit sad for many reasons that the uncle dies, because I thought it makes the decision for Burak a little bit easier. Because you kind of, I mean, TOPRAK, if I read it right in the subtitles, it means soil, right? It means ground, earth, right? So more or less by killing the uncle, you are cutting the roots off for Burak as well, and you make it a little bit easier for him to go to the city. Was it always the intention that the death has to happen, or was there different versions and different endings?
So Burak is still in the village town right now, and he still lives in this village town with my grandparents and his father's rules. The real one right now lives still in the same town, maybe similar poor home like in the movie. I wanted to make the character very difficult or very hard decision he has to make it, because this is the same decision like in our culture and tradition too. So it's not easy to go out of your family's expectations or the rules in the village town. More not my family a little bit more modern, but when you go village town, that you have another rules. That's why I wanted to make a little bit more difficult for my character. That's I can say.
And is it strange for your cousin to watch this movie where he goes away to the city and it doesn't happen in real life, like he's still with his family? And is it weird for his family to see a movie where the son goes away to a bigger place?
He wants to go bigger cities, and he wants to be actor still. He wants to be actor. He's trying in his own way. He just cannot believe how he made it this all roles. How he cried, he cannot remember. It was a big experience for him also. And in Turkey we went to film festival as a team all together, and he was first time seeing the film festival, how it looks like and how people are there. Some girls was asking him like, how did you make this thing, or did you really did you act in the movie, which movie? And he was, yeah, I act in the movie. It was big learning for him also, for me also, for all of us. It was learning. I just learned how to make a movie with that movie. That's why we all have a special points inside of it.
Great. Last question for both of you. So now you have done it. You made your first feature film together. Congratulations. What's in your future? Is a next project coming? Is it going to be bigger or smaller? Do you need a break right now to go to all the festivals? But what do you do with this calling card of yours now?
I want to keep on movie making. I want to make special movies. That's why when I'm writing right now, it's making me really. I'm thinking a lot. What can I do? How can I get better or something? But sometimes I'm losing a point. Should I have to go to the industry, serving the industry, or should I have to stay with my emotional world or special way? It's very interesting point. I will figure out that. But I'm writing a story that we can manage with our budget again, because I don't want to be in the station. Some another people should have to support us, and if it is not supporting, it's not happening. So I don't want to have the station again. That's why I'm writing a story that we can handle together. I like making movie together. Keep on going.
Ja, ich denke, es wäre einfacher für uns. Sie hat jetzt den Hofer Goldpreis gekriegt. Das ist ein Riesending natürlich für uns gewesen, diese Reputation. Aber natürlich, man bräuchte eine Produktionsfirma, die das dann macht. Und man gibt natürlich Sachen aus der Hand. Man hat den Vorteil, dass die sich um alles kümmern. Aber natürlich würde es auch die Abgabe von anderen Dingen sein. Ich weiß es nicht. Also es wäre mal interessant. Also wir haben die Chance, in der Türkei nochmal einen Film zu machen. Wir haben schon viele Sachen Location Scouting gemacht. Es gibt eine schöne Idee, eine sehr schöne Idee von ihr. Und wir könnten sowas Ähnliches nochmal machen, mit einer anderen Story natürlich. Schauen wir mal. Also ich bin natürlich von so einem Projekt auch unabhängig. Ich habe auch noch meine anderen Filme, die ich drehe. Aber ich freue mich schon, wenn das nochmal passieren sollte, weil sie hat einen wunderschönen Film gemacht. Und darauf kann man aufbauen und sollte man aufbauen. Wäre toll.
Yeah. I wish you best of luck, like as in your movie, it's a great decision to make which route you go now. And I hope to see your new projects sooner or later. But for now, thank you for bringing TOPRAK and thank you for the talk.
And we are so thankful, Filmfest Bremen, being here. And thank you very much for your time. We are so happy to be part of the film festival.
Also ich freue mich besonders riesig, dass ich jetzt in meiner Heimat quasi den Film mal präsentieren kann und hoffe, dass viele Leute kommen natürlich und den Film auch im Kino gucken, weil ich glaube, TOPRAK im Kino ist wirklich was anderes, als wenn man ihn haben wir gemerkt, also auf einem kleinen Computer anschaut oder auf dem Fernseher. Also wenn jemand die Chance hat, dann kommt gerne vorbei.
Yeah.
Freut uns.
And we hope the same. And if you want to watch TOPRAK on the big screen together with the team, you can see it here in Filmfest Bremen in Sustainability and Bremen Film. So go to the cinema and enjoy.